Hey everyone, Thunder K, and welcome to another installment in my thing on the finales of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This one is on Mission 45, A Quiet Exit. This mission, man, fucking... the main reason this one was so hard was because I walked into it unprepared. I walked in like it was going to be any other standard op, so to speak. So I had, my machine gun, my sniper rifle, that kind of stuff. Turns out this entire chapter is against armor. So I needed to parachute in my, what is it called? My rocket launcher, like every time every time that I failed the mission and restart it, I had to start by calling in my rocket launcher, and that was really frustrating. But I had no choice. This time though, since I know what it is, I went in prepared. I was ready. Deploying. So anyway, as of now in the story, we've passed shining lights even in death, which was like, wow, that was a chapter. Which basically the vocal cord parasites mutated, and a bunch of people got infected, and Big Boss had to go around and murder his own people because there's nothing they could do for them. And so after that was done, Huey was sent off base. He was banished, and then Quiet decided to take off, and so now we're going after her. Boss, we've gone over the prisoner and of course, here's Miller, Ocelot, and Code Talker giving us our down low on what's going on. Now, I was like, Lamar Hot Take Palace? That place of all places? Huh. I actually like that place. That's another reason why I thought this mission was going to be easy. Because I've invaded that place before. A lot. That's where I got my first S rank. So yeah, Quiet was the one that was what Skullface was talking about when he said that the third English strain was really close to you. That's what he meant. But it was in Quiet. Yep, that was from the torture scene. After they were done, after they stopped. Which is funny, it was Ocelot who stopped the torture, because he didn't really see the point in it. It's not like Quiet was going to tell them anything, to be honest. And she didn't. She just said what she said. Which is that she had the English strain and she wasn't going to speak it. Which was nice, She didn't want to kill us all, that's a good thing. I also didn't bring my car because I didn't really see the point. It's not that far away. And vocal cord parasites aren't cool. Not at all. So I kind of just slowed here just to make sure they finished talking because I didn't want to cut anything they set off, but... We don't know for sure what Quiet's up to, but we need to secure her ASAP. She's being held at Lamar. And they're like, make your way there. I'm already there. All the time. Alright. Let's take a gander at this, yo. Really, no words to be said. Just brutal murder. Good times. Yeah, the snake's like, here, let me lend a hand. This would be a lot easier with no, you know, restraints. Either Quiet's really, what's the word? Like she can see practically everything, which I guess is the case. Or Snake's blind. Then again, he has an eye patch, so I guess it's a combination of both of them. Because that happens a lot, where he's trying to do something Quiet's like, nope, 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 nope. Not yet, look, crazy people. I'd say these poor bastards, but I'm pretty sure they deserve it. So more like these not poor, they deserve it. You know what's cool? Or at least, I mean, I don't know, I find it cool. It probably isn't as cool as I find it, but this this building gets destroyed, and anytime you come back here, it's still destroyed. Although I don't know if it is also during like a story mission where you had to be here prior. I haven't tried that. Incoming!
Let's finish this.
So yeah, they give you the Grom 11 no matter what you come with, but you know, there's a bunch of stronger guns. So in this case, I'm using the one that I used to fight Sahelanthropus. That made the fight really easy. Of course, this mission is not easy just because I have that. So the tanks, if a tank shell hits you, it's instant death, which I really swear it wasn't like that always. Either that or I just never got hit by tank shells before I played this one. Because when I first played this mission, I died way too many times. Like, wow. I honestly don't know how many, but it was a lot. And it was all because of the bullshit tanks in the second wave. I hardly got killed, if at all, in the first wave when I originally played it. But it was the second wave where I died like 80 million times. Here it was kind of the opposite. No, it was kind of, I got killed a few times during the first wave, which I cut out, and a few times during the second wave, which I had to cut out. Ultimately, I think I performed better than the before, but I still would have preferred to do, you know, to do this without dying. Quiet will come to your position and put down a smoke grenade to signal a supply drop when you're low on ammo, so that's really handy. Though it is kind of funny, I didn't know until I was calling in my rocket launcher all the time, but when that stuff drops, it's like a crate, and the crate, it like, what's the word? If something shoots the crate, it'll break and you won't get the supplies in it. And that's really frustrating. That made me really upset. I'm just like, okay, just kill me now, because I needed that. I absolutely needed that, and you just ruined it for me. So it was kind of funny, but also really frustrating. You know, it's just frustrating on top of frustrating, this whole mission. Yeah, it's funny because there's an objective. There are a few objectives to accomplish in this mission aside from just, you know, winning. One of them is to beat it without Quiet getting hit, which I do this time, although it's kind of unfair. It's because every time that you fail and you restart, Quiet is at full health again. So I just, you know, I didn't have to keep her safe the entire chapter. I just had to keep her safe after I, you know, woke up again after being killed. So it wasn't too bad. But the other one is worse. It's extract 7 tanks and 7 armored vehicles, which I think is all of the vehicles that are attacking you, not counting the gunship that comes in later. So it's like, how? Like, I would say maybe like use what's it called? D-Walker's Fulton Ballista, which just shoots out Fultons, that stuff. But you can't bring D-Walker. You know, Quiet will automatically supersede any buddies that you might have brought in beforehand. So it's just like, I don't know. I guess the only way to do it is just to walk up to them and take them away. Sounds really hard to do, honestly. Oh, and I actually got some anti-tank mines, which is pretty cool. So I knew there were going to be vehicles coming in from that way, so I was ready for them. Oh yeah, I think that's the last one of the first wave, and then it's on to the second wave. I think. Or no, it isn't. Because I know the first one of the second wave comes from over the horizon. It's a missile cart or something. You know, I forget. It's that big armored vehicle with giant missiles on the back, which I used it for the first time a short while ago. It's really awesome. Shooting all those missiles is really cool. Now, these guys aren't too bad because all they have are turrets. The tanks with their stupid main cannons are the problem. So yeah, this is the last one of the first wave. And then cue me getting killed by something, so I had to just skip over. So it's really annoying. It's just the most random tank shells are the ones that get me. So, and here's me gonna put down some anti-tank mines, which it took me forever to get these. Then again, I just remember there are weapons called EMN mines, which disable vehicles. So I imagine those are what you're supposed to use. Like, plant them everywhere that a vehicle is gonna come in. You know, assuming you know, since you've played the mission a bunch before, where they're gonna drop in. Just plant them in all the specific locations and let them turn off the vehicles, and then go over to them and extract them. I imagine that's how you're supposed to do all the extractions, at least slightly easier than just running up to the vehicles and taking them. You know, running at a tank that's shooting at you. Not a good idea. I've done it before. Doesn't work. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not gonna try though. I don't need 100% completion in this game. I'm already at like 83 or something like that. I'm good. I've beaten all the side ops. I don't know if I said that. But yeah, I have all of them clear. The last one I did was the target practice on the R&D platform, which was indeed very dumb. It was just as dumb as everybody said it was. I tried it quite a few times on my own, and then I just gave up and looked up someone beating it. And the way they did it was just nonsensical. Like, oh, so much going up and down that platform. It's like ridiculous. I'm sure there's a path, like a single set path you're supposed to follow, but I couldn't find it. And I'm like, this is the last side op. I just want to be done with it. Of course, you can always do all the other side ops that just come up again whenever you want. Gets you money and stuff. Speaking of money, because of the new thing, because like an update from Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, they've added challenge tasks. I don't know if I mentioned it before, which is basically beat this mission like this, or beat this, or do this. Really small objective-based things, and they give you a bunch of money, plants, vehicles, weapons, stuff like that. It's really cool, honestly. Thanks to, and also since it was added just with this update, it actually counts almost everything that you've done beforehand. So once you do, so if you haven't, like after I updated, I had like over 100 tasks completed, and I was just collecting all the rewards, all the staff, all the money and everything. I now have over 10 million GMP, last I checked anyway. So, you know, those things are awesome. Of course, all the ones that are left involve A ranking, S ranking certain missions, completing certain tasks, like in this case extracting all the vehicles will get you something. So on and so forth. It's really ridiculous. There's me having trouble with the gunship because my rocket launcher won't lock onto it. Or did I just shoot it down? I was looking away temporarily. Oh, I think I shot it down. But yeah, you know, it's a little frustrating when my thing will not lock on to the gunship. It does that a few times, not sure why. Don't I die here? I don't remember. I cut out all the deaths just because there was quite a few. Not as much as the first time I played this level, I'll say that again, but still quite a few. It's really hard to tell if they're still active when they do that. I imagine that the lack of a reticle above them, like a red icon, means that they're still active, but like they're still staring at me. It's kind of scary. Because they can kill me in one shot. I don't like that. And we're done. Nice job, Snake and Quiet. You destroyed like 30 million vehicles. That's an accomplished mission, alright. Or wait, we missed one. This explosion actually like gets rid of all of your gear, except your iDroid, luckily. But like, it's really kind of frustrating. It's like the one of the times in the game where I'm like, I need my night vision, and it's like, nope, got blown up. I have to wait for another shipment of that shit.
Quiet.
I always thought that was funny.
We're gonna have company. No water, no sun. Don't you dry up on me.
Yeah, there, just shut off my night vision. It's like, no, you don't have that. That was a lie. That was a trick. Yeah, this part's not that bad, but when I first did it, I was like super like, oh my god. Because they actually sent a second armored column after us. That's amazingly hilarious, but I guess it's the first time anyone in this game shows, you know, forward thought. It's like, this dude is crazy, but he can't stand up to like 80 tanks, so let's send 80 tanks after him. So yeah, you just gotta stay out of sight because you have no weapons, you have no gear, you have no way of taking on a tank at all, so. It was a lot of me just lying in wait and being all like, uh-oh. And when I first did it, there was one that came really close to me. I was just like, please don't turn this way.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
And iDroid's been the handiest thing in the world. Which, by the way, I was reading on TV tropes that there's like certain things you could do to complete tasks a lot easier, or get out of alerts, or just generally play the game a bit smoother. And one of them was to, like, when you're chasing the wandering mother base soldiers, if you play love deterrence on your iDroid, they'll calm down. They'll know it's you, right? And I'm like, oh, so I did that. It didn't do anything. It turns out that you have to turn the speakers on your iDroid on so that it's actually coming out of you in the game, not just like in your ears. And I'm like, you can do that? And I found that out after I'd beaten the main game. Like, so I was at the end. And I found out that those useless, sort of useless cassette tapes you pick up of like enemies yelling, enemy eliminated and stuff like that. If you play those on your speakers, depending on the region you're in, Afghanistan or Africa, the guards would be like, oh, enemy defeated, cool, let's all go back to a standard operating, that kind of shit. And I was like, that's awesome. I wish I had known that earlier. But that's really cool. And you can also play the soldier with a stomach ache when you're hiding inside a toilet and people will ignore you, leave you alone. So all in all, there's a lot of really handy stuff in this game that I didn't learn about until later. Like or at least that I didn't do until much later, like the cardboard box transport system delivery point thing. Like, I knew about it from like the trailers and stuff, I just never did it. It was a lot handier as opposed to driving back and forth across the gigantic maps in this game. Anyway, I made it. Yay. Chill out, we're fine, we're fine. Yeah, there they are. Those douches. Seriously in no position to pick a fight with them, and even if I did have, like, weapons, I still wouldn't want to do it. It wasn't fun the first time. It'll definitely be anything just frustrating the second time. Even worse, even more so. I'm like, again? Seriously though, what in the hell is this guy doing all the way out here? Like, dude. Poor Snake. Oh well. That one deserved it. Pequod.
Squad, Ahab, what is your position? We can't stick around any longer. Talk to me, boss.
Lahat ani seta. Smicho.
Ahab, I can't copy your transmission. Repeat.
Tisho. Mishe. Lahat ani tatsa.
Again, I cannot copy. Can you repeat in English? This is Pequod. Ahab! Ahab, do you copy? Do you understand English? Hey! Do you copy? We can't stick around any longer. We have zero visibility. We're gonna have to pull back. Cutting transmission.
The boss is with me.
Ahab? Wait, who is this? Identify yourself.
There's no time. Hurry!
Where are you? What is your location?
No, you're moving away from us. Circle back to your 8 o'clock.
Copy that. Guide me to your location.
Proceed to your 10 o'clock.
Understood.
Come back toward your 1 o'clock.
Copy. 1 o'clock.
Shift slightly to your left. Now proceed straight. 1.5 miles. Slide right. A little more. Yes, there you go. 1 more mile. Strong winds approaching. Quick, adjust to your right. Left. A little left. Yes. Now hold your position and proceed straight. Half a mile to go. Pequod, I can see you. I have a visual.
There you are, Ahab. Visual confirmed.
Pequod, hurry! This way.
You're... I didn't know you could be so talkative, Quiet.
Best line in the whole damn game.
Hurry, Pequod. Please.
Boss. Boss! I gave you an anti-venom.
Where's Quiet?
We've gotta go.
I imagine you could just leave at this part.
Let's go, boys.
Like get in the plane and just take off, or the helicopter. But why would you?
info has been updated.
When I first did this part, I got a little lost. It's a little hard to make out the footprints. Being completely honest. Like, I didn't go in the completely wrong direction. I was heading the generally right way, but I couldn't find the tracks to follow. This time around, I do much better. Probably because I know where to go. But still. It's like we got so many snakes just following footprints these days. So yeah, this is the last thing, and after this, the mission's done. Really tough mission, but really rewarding, so to speak.
I did not choose to be quiet. I wanted to express my feelings to you. If only we shared a common tongue.
Vengeance was what drove me to them. The only language left to me, revenge. But the words we shared, no, that was no language at all. That is why I chose the language of gratitude instead and go back to silence. I am quiet. I am the absence of words.
I was very depressed after finishing this mission the first time. Like, as if Shining Lights Even in Death wasn't already depressing. I was really sad after this. And it's just like, there was only one thing left to do after this. And that was mission 46, which I'll be covering next time, but man, this really bugged me. Like, the whole thing, my last play session with Metal Gear Solid 5 when I finished it for the first time was just constantly being like, there's no more after this, you know? And it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thought to have, but it's the truth.
It let me live. Let me
This was seriously quite the game, as I think I said before.
love. Hurt so bad.
Either way, that was a quiet exit. It's a really hard mission, like seriously. But I think I'll get better at it. Hopefully, I mean, I don't really have to do it again unless I want to complete that task with the extracting things, but maybe I'll do it again just for the money. It pays a lot. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one with the last video on Metal Gear Solid 5. At least from me. Hasta.
I want to give them to you so you can see what we
results of Quiet scans? Yes, as I suspected. Her entire body underwent parasite therapy. The parasites compensated for her burnt epidermis and provide her blood with oxygen through cutaneous respiration instead of pulmonary respiration. In addition, they replaced the digestive organs she lost, and she receives carbohydrates through photosynthesis. Was Skullface responsible? There is no other possibility. Skullface ordered Quiet to assassinate Snake, only she got set on fire instead when he woke up in that hospital. But then Skullface revived Quiet through his parasite therapy, at the same time infecting her with the English strain. That way, even if the assassination failed again, she could still kill all of us just by coming here. That was the third English mating pair. Correction. The first and only English pair to be carried by a person. So either because she wanted to get even with Snake, or because she was working for Skullface, Quiet approached Snake again. Though in the end, for whatever reason, she did not complete her objective. Some change of heart, perhaps. We want to hear it from her.